Hi guys, it's Gary here. This is just a video to show you how to basically look for reports for the Australian stock market. Now every day the stock market opens at 10 o'clock Monday to Friday, not counting public holidays of course. So there's a website called Hot Copper. There it is there. It's a very, very simple site. You haven't got to register with it. And what you're really looking for is announcements. These are the announcements. Now this is in the night, so this is giving you a format of, the days. Green is up, and you can go into the actual stocks individually, and red is down. But you're looking for this at the beginning of the day. ASX means Australian Stock Exchange. So you want to sort of come on about 9 o'clock at least, if not earlier. You wouldn't want to come any earlier than about 8 o'clock Australian time, because things say you're looking for price sensitive. And then when you get price sensitive, you probably won't even look at all. So this is where at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night. So we're just going to go through today. So I got on here about 9 o'clock this morning, and then I basically went through. And you don't have to look at them all. Some stock, some price sensitive announcements aren't always that sensitive. It's just companies trying to make themselves look good. Basically they have a pair of shoes and they just say my shoes are now colored black, just to make you think that they've done something. But what you're really looking for is some of them you will, like full year results. That's handy to know. That was actually quite a good company. That's a bank, and they did have a good financial year. And if you clicked on it, you'll find that they went up by 4.3%. But you'll see that the company's worth $19.6 million. So it's certainly at $19.26 million, it's not going to go up fast, but it's certainly going to go up. So that's a good thing. So, but that wasn't something that I chose, because I'm more into smaller stocks than bigger stocks. So I'm looking for stocks that are much slower than that. But the first one that I saw when I went through it quickly this morning, strong profits, I would have had a look at that one. Shows strong growth in profit. So once again, and this is showing at the end of the day, but once again, it's worth $4.6 billion, which is a extraordinarily amount of money. But once again, it does go up, and that's a good thing. But we're looking for something a little bit smaller in value than that. So the best one that I found this morning was my first one that I found was basically, I went through it and I found this one here. They received an exporting approval. So this is the first one that I wrote down. So basically all you do is this is the code, this is what the announcement is. Now, normally you just copy this, send over the code, and you would send me the code and you just send me that. And that's all I'd need to know that there was something good about that thing, and I would go in and read the report. You would read it as well, but before you send it over to me, but when it comes to what you're going to send to me, that would be enough. But some people you might send it, might give me a little bit more, so we'll open it up. The company's worth $84 million, so a lot less. Okay, and it had a 14% rise for the day, so that's fantastic. But you also can see that it opened up at 6.5, and somewhere during the day it actually went down to 6.1 and ended up at closing lower than it opened up. So that's why sometimes it's not always good to buy at the beginning of the day, because a lot of people, they're very keen to buy it and then the price drops and you sort of get caught. But because of the report of what you're getting told here, basically it's showing that this thing will probably go up for the next 3 or 4 days. It might have a small retrace, but overall you should do okay with this stock. Now this doesn't have figures in it, but being that it's a cheaper stock, and it's got government approval for export approval, that's normally a good sign. So normally I'd just copy this, and maybe just a code, you know what I mean? And and I might copy that, and I might just copy this part here, and that's just got the ASX code in there, which is what I need, and basically just give me a rundown of, so I would just copy that basically, and that would be it. And I'd copy that and give me the code, and we'd be away. And you'd send that over to me. Or you wouldn't send that over to me first up. First up, you'd make a list of them, and then you'd classify them, say 1 to 5. You probably wouldn't do any more than 5. And most times you'll probably pick one of the bunch, which will be the best one. That'll be number 1, and the best second one will be number 2, and the third one will be. And this is where I'm going to test you in the sense of choosing which one is the best stock that's going to run today. Okay, so then you can go back out of there. So that was one of the ones I wrote down, BRN. Okay, and then I went up to the next day. I'm sorry, a bit later because I come onto this a bit later. But once again, there were things here, updates. So sometimes the updates can be good, but normally they're not. You know what I mean? Account and reports, they're very good. And then we go back to that one. So we're going to go down, and we're going to go back to earlier. All right, and you can even go back to the next day, but you wouldn't go back too far because you'd be wasting your time. So we're going to start here, and this is where I started about 9 o'clock, and I saw that one there when I went through. The second one I saw that I came through was this one here was good. I had a look at it. It wasn't for me, but I still had a look at it. I had a look here. But the main ones that you're sort of looking for is like, which ones did I see? My favorite one that I saw this morning, my number one pick for the morning, was definitely this one here. As soon as I saw an FDA approval, that's a big thing. And also this one here, I had a look at this one. This was a good one. And that was something I thought about, but this one here was definitely the one. So I opened it up, saw the FAA. Now this is at the end of the day, it had a 26% rise. So for you guys on that side, in the Philippines, you're going to make some really good money from this stock if it stays like this. The stock's worth 155 million. So, it is worth a little bit of money, but the announcement's so good you wouldn't go past it. And basically you just read a little bit of it. You wouldn't need to read too much. Basically it says it all just there. And you just might copy a little bit of it, but mainly just this part's just here. And once again, it's actually got the code in there, which is very important. Sorry, is the code in that one? Actually, I don't know if the code is in that one. So we're looking for the code. So the code's not in that one, so we'd have to find the code because MIG is just the thing, but the code was, where is the code? So we'll go down a bit more. It might have the code in here somewhere, and if it doesn't, we will go and find the code. Okay, so there's no code in this one. So basically you just, give a little bit of a span, right, basically copy this. But the main thing I'd probably copy if it was me is I would probably just copy, I'd go back to this, and I would just copy this part here. I'd actually just say MIG ABA approved, and I would send over that stock code. So that's actually showing if you over click on it, and it tells you that CMP, C for cat, M for Mary, P for Paul, ASX, that's the actual code. And you might just copy that, and just highlight that and copy those. And then you put that on your list. That was my number one pick for the morning. But, there was more, and I went on after this. And you would probably try and send these over, at least half an hour beforehand, 15 minutes at least before 10 o'clock. And that would be good. Here's another one here for MXC, you know what I mean? And then they were the ones that I looked at today. This was my number one stock. But then after the market opened, I just went back there about once every hour, just had a look around. And then I just happened to be on this one here. And this one here was incredible. And it came up exactly when I was looking at it. Now, this company is only worth $1.1 million. So in the world of stocks, $1 million stocks is where you're going to really make some big money. They can go up 10 times what they're worth in hours. So now this one here, so I went in there and had a look, and basically as soon as you see US Navy or Army or anything to do with that sort of stuff, you certainly want to have a look at it. Now this one here is an aquarium robots, and basically they're just doing an announcement that the US base subsidiary of Autobox is entering into a non-standing Navy. You don't need to read the words completely. You just want to see a few things like US Navy. So you certainly would, take notice of this straight away. And this is something you would send straight over to me. You wouldn't put it in a list because if you've spotted it during the day, you'd send it straight over to me. Because if I bought this before anybody else had seen it, because a lot of them, they don't just sit on the computer and have a look at these things during the day. And so if you saw this during the day, you certainly would take notice of this. And I bought 1 million shares of this. So as soon as I bought it, as soon as I looked at it, I knew straight away because nobody else would have seen it at about the time I saw it. Now, when I first saw it, it actually wouldn't let me download it because there's a 20-minute delay on this website. So this website's really good, but unfortunately there is a delay of 20 minutes on this website. So to solve that problem, basically I got out of this website and I went to the ASX website. So this is the ASX, ASX, Australian Stock Exchange. And basically I went on to announcements here and today's announcements. And basically all the S's here are all the market sensitive. So basically, and these ones are live. So you haven't got to wait 20 minutes. So basically, if I go to this one here, I have a look at the time. So there's the time there, 7 a.m. So this one gives you the whole day, and you're only looking for ones that have got this little thing like that. Now we know it came out at 9:34, so we're just looking for the time. Came out at 9. Sorry, that one came out at 1:11, I think it was. Yeah, there it is there. So there it is there. So then I can click onto that, and it'll just say approve, which I did. And I basically got to look at it straight away. I didn't have to wait the 20 minutes. So if you're really in a hurry to see it and it won't allow you on HotCopper, just go over to ASX. And like I said, when you get to the ASX, you got the home button. It's very simple. You just go into market research, announcements, today's announcements, and it'll come up with everything. And you're only looking for the ones that have got the S on it. And that's what makes HotCopper so good, because HotCopper itself, it basically weeds out all of the ones that you don't have to see. So by just going to this, going to the ASX, going to sense it, you can just concentrate on the ones you need to read. And some of these you might read 20, 30, 40 announcements a day until you get good at it. And then once you get good at it, you'll start, you'll probably only do about 10 to 20 a day at the most. Also, you don't need to do it every day. It's only when I'm looking to buy stocks. So if I'm not looking to buy stocks, you might just do it as a practice run. So, so here's an example. There's that one that I really liked at the end of the day. Now, the other thing about it is once you actually go to that stock here, it tells you how much. Okay, you can actually go to the announcements for that company itself. So once again, you go to market sensitive, and you'll just get all the market sensitive for that stock. So here it is here, and this is why the stock was going up, because there was a good announcement only 2 weeks ago. So not even 2 weeks ago, 8 days ago. So that's a good sign. Oh, sorry, that wasn't 8 weeks ago. That wasn't 2 weeks ago. That was actually 3 months ago. Sorry, the 9th. I thought that was on the February. So you know what I mean. But the main thing about it is that this announcement here is the one that basically brought us towards this. So you can do this on anything. You can just click on this one. This is another one that got a report out today at 2:20. Okay, and from 2:20, I don't know if it came out at 2:20. Let's have a look at the announcements. So it actually came out at 11 minutes past 10. So that's what I'm saying, that not all of them open up on things. So this one opened up, and as soon as it did, it opened up at 2:06, and it got up to a high of 3.2. So it's certainly on its way. Now these things mean the first 1 day, 5 days. So when it's highlighted, that tells you this has been the last month. So that's certainly a good sign. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and a yield. And then you've got 5 years. So if you're really looking at it for 5 years, you're having a look at it here, and it's really done well. It's gone from 0.9 cents, and now it's up to 3 cents. But when you get a stock like this, you certainly want to do your homework. You want to know, okay, what made this really do well, and then maybe what was before it, so that you can sort of have some sort of background. I mean, you wouldn't need to go back, a year. Here's 3 or 4, 6 years here. You don't need that much. You normally would only go back at the most around about 6 months. Here we go. Here there was a commencement here in the 8th month, and then you might, if you're concentrating on this one particular stock, but it all goes on how much time you have, and you're particularly looking for one particular stock that's looking really promising for the day. And that's basically it. That's really all you do. You're just basically reading these reports. So this one here, I only read this one today, and that wasn't enough to say, well, I think that was a good buy. So I went in there, had a look around. Now you don't need to understand all of this stuff either. You know what I mean? It just basically it says high grade gold project, and what caused them to basically do better. In other words, for the thing to go up, and that was that they've already has a strike additional 130 extra kilometers of high processed um, public high grade gold district. So basically, they bought more land. They bought more land, and they're already producing already. And that's where, if you went back to the announcements, you'll probably find that, um, they've acquired, um, you know, good gold already. So here's the gold results here. So after a while, you sort of learn how to read these. But at the beginning, you won't. I will, understand it a lot better, and you know, and that's why some people, what they do is they actually get on Hot Copper, and instead of trying to find um, like after 10 o'clock, so after 10 o'clock, they might just go and click onto this and find out why it went up. You know what I mean? So something's made it go up like that, and you'll go, sorry about that, you'll go there, okay, and then you'll go to the company announcements, and then you'll just press highlight, might price sensitive, and you'll go and read the report that came out today. And, I'm going to know after that whether it's going to keep on going or this is not a buy. It's only $36 million. So in stock market, sizes, that's actually classified as a small stock. So, anything under 10 is extraordinarily small. And so, anything under 100 million is medium. Okay, so I'm hoping this video will help you. I'm sorry if it's taken a bit longer to just talk about it. So hopefully I can just make up some smaller videos. Okay, so hopefully we can get going and we can see where we can go. Thank you.